don't. I simply say that UNHCR will make...
Been held here, and of course there'll be an ASEAN European Summit coming up in a couple of months. Whether it's the ASEAN Regional Forum or indeed here in Bangkok, a major step forward was taken. We have frozen the North Korean nuclear program for a year and a half.
Partly as a result of that legislation, refugees, whether in Hong Kong or in Southeast Asia, saw new hope. And I say refugees, I don't mean that literally. I mean people who had fled Vietnam, some who may qualify as refugees, some who may not. But in any event, those who were residing in these camps in Hong Kong and throughout Southeast Asia found fresh hope in that legislation that maybe they could emigrate to America, and therefore the voluntary return was almost stopped in its tracks. We would be willing to interview in certain categories, essentially those who worked with us during the Vietnam War, but I don't want to limit it to that. There's some technical definitions that I don't want to get into, but we would be willing to interview those who qualify once they return to Vietnam, and see whether they would qualify as refugees to come to the United States. What this means is they would therefore have a sense that they could leave the camps in Hong Kong and Southeast Asia, go back to Vietnam with some assurance, if they met certain qualifications, that they could get one more chance at an interview. Although of course, this very much involves Vietnam itself. That'll be one of the issues I'll be discussing when I go to Vietnam. And they have had some concerns about the magnitude of this return and exactly how these interviews will be conducted and whether some of these people jump to the head of the line versus those who have been in Vietnam, etc. So there's some considerable challenges still to work out, and we hope very much that Vietnam can respond positively.